You are born in dust when the war has already burned out. Spring 1865. Surrender at Appomattox. Soldiers come home without arms, without legs, without work. Your father comes back without luck. He knows how to shoot and keep silent. That is not enough. You grow up in a shack by the tracks where wheels keep hammering. May 10th, 1869. Promontory Summit, Utah. The Golden Spike is driven in. The Transcontinental Railroad stitches the country together. For some it is progress. For you it is a sound that won't let you sleep. Trains head west carrying money, weapons, settlers. You watch other people's lives roll past. The town around the station swells fast and dirty. The saloon opens before the school. In 1871, the Kansas Pacific Line reaches Dodge City. Meat, hides, cash. Drunk cowboys firing into ceilings. You learn to count change faster than you learn to read. Your mother washes railroad uniforms. You haul water and listen to talk about schedules, safes, guards. Money travels on time. People don't. You understand early. If the country is built on rails, then fate runs on a timetable. You only have to stand in its way. You learn early that mercy is a luxury. In 1873, the Panic of 1873 hits. Banks close. Railroad companies collapse. Men crowd the stations looking for work. You watch and remember. Strong men become excess in a single day. You go to work for a switchman. You pull levers, clean oil cans, memorize schedules. Every minute is fixed. Every train has a number. You learn to think like the tracks, cold, without emotion. In 1874, Jesse James' gang robs a train at Gads Hill, Missouri. They pull a rail, take the money, vanish. Newspapers call it daring. You call it logistics, a security failure, slow response time. Everything is decided beforehand. You learn to ride faster than wind. In 1876, George Armstrong Custer dies at Little Bighorn. The Army makes mistakes too. You see how easily authority collapses? If cavalry can lose, a train can stop. You train patience. Sit in ambush 3 hours without moving. Count cars by sound. Tell freight from mail by the rhythm of wheels. The world speeds up. You slow down. That becomes your advantage. You understand power is not in the revolver. It is in information. In 1877, the Great Railroad Strike paralyzes the country. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Chicago, cars burn. The National Guard fires on workers. You see the truth? Rails can be stopped. The system can be forced to panic. You build friendships with firemen and telegraph operators. For a bottle of whiskey, they tell more than they should. Mail schedules. Payday shipments for miners. Gold coming from Nevada. You memorize. You never write it down. In 1878, the Lincoln County War begins in New Mexico. Billy the Kid shoots over cattle and debt. His portrait fills newspapers. Crime becomes a profession. It becomes legend fast. You don't want legend. Legends die beautifully. You prefer to live dirty. You buy a Colt single-action army. Not for show, for reliability. You practice shooting at lanterns on empty lots. You miss. You learn not to shake. You study Adams Express safes, steel, locks, guard habits. People grow lazy. People trust uniforms and badges. You trust speed and darkness. The tools are ready. You only need a train. You enter the system not with a shot, but with a job. In 1880, the census records 50 million people. The country grows. Railroads grow faster. You take work at a sorting yard in Abilene. You get a badge. You get access. You learn to smile at the sheriff and drink with the guards. October 26, 1881. The gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone. The Earps kill quickly and legally. Newspapers call it order. You see something else. The law belongs to whoever has more men behind him. One man against the system is a corpse. You become part of the flow, check seals, verify manifests, note which cars run unguarded on Tuesdays, which banks cut costs on armed escorts. Money prefers silence. You prefer schedules. In 1883, standard railroad time is introduced. 4 time zones. The country synchronizes. Every minute obeys a signal. A 5-minute mistake leaves a train stranded in open country. You are no longer the boy from the dirt lot. You are a cog in the machine you plan to break. The system accepts you. You take it as an invitation. You choose a moonless night. Autumn 1887. The Union Pacific Line cuts across Wyoming like an open artery. You know the schedule. Mail car number 3. Miner's payroll from Rock Springs. You check the manifest yourself. You move fast. Pull a spike on a curve. The train screams to a stop. Horses wait in the low ground. 2 shots in the air. Not for fear. For rhythm, people obey sound. You enter the car, smash the safe lock with the butt of your gun. Dynamite is a last resort. Tonight you don't need it. At 4:10 a.m., November 15th, 1887, a telegraph leaves for Cheyenne reporting the robbery. You are already 20 miles south. Newspapers print the story 2 days later. You read it over breakfast without smiling. You take only cash and Adams Express packages. You don't touch passengers, not from mercy, from calculation. Less blood means fewer federal agents. By 1889, your name is whispered from Omaha to Denver. No one is certain. You become a ghost in the timetable. Trains run on schedule. You arrive off schedule. You are at your peak, not in fame, in precision. The price does not come at once. First comes confidence. Spring 1890, another Santa Fe train. This time, dynamite blows the safe door. Shrapnel wounds a conductor. He dies a day later in an Albuquerque hospital. Newspapers print his name. Yours stays rumor. Now it is a federal matter. October 3rd, 1890, Congress expands the powers of federal marshals. You read about it in the Denver Post. This is no longer a game with private guards. It is a hunt. December 1890, the massacre at Wounded Knee. The Army shoots Lakota men, women, children. You see how the state solves problems. Quickly and permanently. You are no longer a newspaper illusion. You are a line in Justice Department reports. Your partners start calculating differently. One spends too much. New suit. Gold watch. In 1891, the Pinkerton National Detective Agency takes a contract to capture you. Private detectives are patient. They work for years. You change hideouts more often. Sleep with a revolver in hand. Keep fresh horses. Hide money in 3 places. Divide trust by 0. The price is not fear. It is tension without end. Every hoofbeat at night sounds like a sentence. Every new day feels like a postponement. The era breaks slowly. First, the metal changes. In 1893, another panic. Banks fail. Railroads go bankrupt. Companies merge and harden security. Cars get new steel safes. Dynamite no longer solves everything. You try the old way. July 1894, the Pullman strike halts traffic. Federal troops enter Chicago. The state guards rails like arteries now. Any stoppage brings soldiers. Your trade becomes political. In 1895, the Supreme Court rules in re debs. A labor leader is jailed for interfering with train traffic. Even words against the timetable are crimes now. What chance does dynamite have? Photography spreads through prisons. Mugshots circulate across states. Your face can no longer hide under a hat. In 1896, William McKinley is elected on industrial growth and order. The country chooses stability. You become an anachronism. Romance ends where bookkeeping begins. Trains run faster. Guards shoot without warning. Pinkertons work methodically. Time moves forward without you. The system has learned from your mistakes. They take you not in a gunfight, but in exhaustion. January 1898. A cheap hotel in Oklahoma City. The territory prepares for statehood. Land is divided by law now, not revolver. February 12th, 1898. You walk out in handcuffs. No shots. A Pinkerton agent reads the warrant. In his pocket is a photograph, your profile. The camera did what bullets could not. The trial is quick. Railroads bring ledgers, telegrams, witnesses. You are tied to 4 robberies, one to the conductor's death in 1890. 30 years in federal prison, no appeals, no headlines. In 1901, William McKinley is assassinated. The country debates anarchists in security. You are no longer news. You are statistics. In your cell, you read about a new century, Texas oil, engines without horses. Trains are no longer the summit of progress. You walk free in 1918 on parole. World War I ends in November. The world is different. Rails still cut across the plains, guarded like treasury vaults. You walk along the tracks and see no opportunity, only order. Your era died before you did.